Hello everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everyone has been having a great week and you are raring to meet my newest guest. We are doing this podcast live tonight because we're going to do several things at once. Well, not once, but back to back. Y'all know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spotlight Andi, and Andi's going to tell you about herself, her channel, and what she does, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead, welcome to the live, Andi, and thank you for agreeing to do this with me tonight.
Hi. Well, hi, I'm Crafty Witch 232, and my channel, I just like to craft everything. I mainly do crochet right now because it's more relaxing for me. So how I do a lot of craft fairs, and I spend a lot of time with my dogs. I am also a jewelry maker. I like to wrap a lot of crystals, make earrings. I like to make dream catchers, which I'm going to be doing here soon. I cross stitch. I like to do things with fabric, like make bags and stuff like that, which I'm going to get back into as well. The other thing that I'm going to be taking up is I got a knitting loom, so I'm going to do some new projects with that, so I hope to share that with you guys soon. But the main thing I'm working on right now is making a lot of little plushies for my upcoming shows and mixing a couple medias together. I'm also 3D printing stuff as well. I am designing some of my own 3D prints, so I hope I can unveil that to everybody as well. So that's it. That's me.
So Andi, how long have you been crocheting?
I was taught as a kid by my neighbor, but I've really been doing it for about, oh my goodness, like 15 years.
Nice.
Yeah. I started, pretty much like everybody does with scarves and, arm warmers and stuff, but I've been doing plushies for about 10. So,
Your plushies are beautiful. I'm amazed.
thank you.
So from my understanding, your most favorite thing is making your little plushies. Do you do any other type of crochet work?
Not right now. Plushies are pretty much my favorite things to make. I did make a little baby blanket for my niece and my nephew, but it's easier for me to make the plushies because of I have fibromyalgia and stuff, so I don't like to make bigger things. So small things are the way to go. But
Okay, it's wonderful. Let's say hello to people in the channel. Robin was the first one in here tonight. Hello, Robin. Hi, Andrea. Hello, Mary G. Hello, Cheri. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, we got everybody now. I've shared Andi's YouTube channel link in the chat, so make sure to go over and visit her. So this is the first time we're doing a crochet podcast, so we're gonna have to like wing it a little bit. So let me ask you some questions similar to what I would ask a quilter.
Okay.
Would you like to, let's see here. Did anyone influence you to start crocheting to start with? And why don't you talk a little bit about how you learned?
So my neighbor taught me when I was younger. She would teach me, she would make blankets and stuff, so she would teach me that. I really like the way that when you crochet, how it looks kind of like cross stitch. And since I've always been a cross stitcher, for my great grandpa and my mom, so when you can, I'll just show you. So like when you can crochet and it looks like little X's and stuff, it
Yep.
reminds me of cross stitch. And for a while, because of neuropathy and stuff, I couldn't cross stitch, so I just had to find something else that could like bring that to me. So that's why I wanted to start getting back into crochet. And I pretty much just taught myself again how to do it just from books and stuff. So
Okay. What is your favorite type of yarn that you like to use?
Right now, I, unfortunately like to use the soft polyester yarns from Joann's, which was a Big Twist brand, but I have a bunch of it in stock. It's like a polyester style, almost like a blanket style yarn, but it's a lot thinner and it's just super soft and cuddly. So,
So, with your plushies, I'm a little excited because some of your plushies are different. So so I'm wondering, because you make these ones that are different, which you'll be showing, I'm sure. Um, do you lean more toward that, making like scary little uh plushies? So tell us about how you migrated to that.
well, me and obviously my husband, we love horror. So I like to make more creepy style and horror characters. I don't have any really available at the moment because I kind of sold them all, so I have to remake the lines. But I love horror characters, so I like to design them based on like some of the more popular horror characters that are available out there. Or I like to try to design my own style of like voodoo doll style
Mhm.
characters.
Yep.
So yes.
So can you
It's
give
just
us an example of some of the horror characters you like to make?
so like you got your main slashers like Jason or Freddy, or like I just made an Edward Scissorhands. I like to make Leatherface, Sam from Trick or Treat. He's one of my favorites to make. I've made like Pinhead. Um, I made Beetlejuice. I've just made a whole bunch of different ones. Oh, there's my husband. Hi, husband.
Jason, Jason is Andy's husband that's sitting here in the chat with us. Hello, Jason. Welcome. Hello, Stacy from Create and Relate. Welcome, welcome. If you want to share your channels, just type, and I'm going to share the way to do it. All you got to do is look at this, type exclamation selfie, and you can also share your channels while we're doing the live. You're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so anyway, all right, now the link didn't work for, try again. You might not have spelled it right, Mary. Try again, or the bot was busy one. Hang on. Let me see what happens when I do it. It show me. Come on. Yep, there you are. You might have not typed it right, or the bot was not awake, because sometimes the bot acts weird. We can't control that part. Anyway, okay. So which one of the horror ones that you like to make, which one is your most favorite out of all of them?
Ooh, okay. So Leatherface is my favorite. And the second favorite is the Sam from Trick or Treat. I actually do have a few pictures of some of them, so I can show some of them.
Okay, that would be great.
Yes, so the one that just came up, because they just go so fast, and I always try to make them different because I never like them to be the same.
Mhm.
So, for example, how does this work? Sorry.
You have an invisible screen, so that's causing issues. You
Ooh,
might have to turn your background thing off.
let me see here how I do that. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. I didn't realize that was the actual screen behind you. Sorry.
I know, right?
Green screen. So
Yeah, I might have to, when I switch my camera, it might be a better way to show those actually.
yeah.
Because then it'll be
You can
closer.
bring a second camera on if you want to.
Oh, I
Um,
can. Okay.
yeah, just use the Zoom link and come on up.
Okay, let me try that.
And then I'll maximize, or I'll spotlight it when you bring it on.
Okay, we'll do that. But yes, Leatherface is my favorite to make because I can make him different every time because in each of the movies he has like a different style. But like I said, I like to add quirks. Oh, I do have this fun, where did Mr. Peeps go? This fun mascot I made on my live. His name is Chef Bobby Peeps.
That is so weird watching you disappear. Yeah, you're gonna have trouble even showing that with that screen. Oh, look at that bunny rabbit. That's so cute.
But he's
Oh,
like a little horror guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is my first time using the Zoom, so I'm sorry. I thought that that would help, but I guess not.
I noticed with it, if you with people who use the screen, they disappear if they move too far or they're showing something on their phone and you can't see it. Yeah, so that's the downside to that thing. All
Yeah,
right.
but
No, it's no problem at all. Okay, let me see here. As a crocheter, is there anything you have learned that you wish someone would have told you about in the beginning?
I think that how to change colors. There was a few things I learned along the way and a few little tips and tricks that I want to do little videos on. Like when you want to change colors but make it not noticeable, or like the perfect way to maybe tie off a row, and how to, there's things that you pick up as you make and make more dolls and stuff like that. So there's just a few little tips and tricks that along the way can save you some headaches. So
So I'm going to ask you a funny question. Why do you make or why do you crochet and what does crochet give back to you?
crochet is I crochet because it's kind of like when you create something, you get so excited from like a piece of yarn and it turns into like this awesome like stuffed animal. You're like so excited, and you created something so pretty and so beautiful, and you're like, I can't believe I made this. And you get this like euphoric feeling like of, if I can do this and I can turn a piece of string into this, then what else can I do?
Yeah.
And it just makes you happy, and then you can see the look on somebody else's face, even if you're giving it as like a gift or doing it for somebody else. And it just makes you happy knowing that you can bring joy to somebody just by making something. And it's also very cathartic for me. It's very therapeutic and it's very relaxing, so I do it like also as a form of therapy. So, and stress
Okay.
relief for sure.
What do you find the hardest thing about crocheting?
That you never have enough time to finish everything you want to do.
Now, a while, I don't know, on one of your lives, I was asking about the dragon that you were showing on, as a weight screen, and you said that that was an AI. Do
Yes.
you, when you're making your plushies, are you going by a pattern, or do you create as you go along when you're making the plushies?
So some of them I test other people's patterns or I buy patterns and try them out. But lately, most of the ones that I do, I design my own patterns. So I go ahead and, you know, um, I've done it long enough to where I can design my own as I go along.
Okay.
Mm.
How do you decide what you plan on making when you're going to start crocheting something new?
Um, a lot of times people will ask me, "Can you make this?" And I'll get a lot of people messaging me, "Hey, somebody wants this." For example, I had somebody request a cubert,
Hmm.
and I've never made a cubert. So I found a pattern that somebody had made, but there was parts of it I didn't like. So I made the basic body and then I, winged it to make the rest of it. That type of thing. So most of it's just by request. So,
Okay.
and a lot of
Well,
it's to see if I can make it, if I can make it come to
yeah,
life.
that's great. Uh, for the channel, for the chat, if you all want to ask any questions for Andi, please post them in the chat, and I'll make sure to ask them to her as well. So, don't be too quiet in there. Okay. Can you give me an estimate of how many crochet pieces you think you've done over time?
Oh my goodness. Probably a couple thousand.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
figured, especially since you sell them too. Um,
yeah, I sell them, so at least a few thousand.
first started out crocheting, did you decide that you were going to sell what you made, or was that just something that evolved over time?
It definitely evolved over time because when I first started, Like I said, I was doing a lot of cross stitch and jewelry making. And then people, wanted me to make things for them. And then I would do it as like gifts and stuff like that. And then when I got into cross or crochet, it was the same thing. I would make things for gifts and then just learn how to do new things. And then, the more people want things, you can't just give everything away for free, And then it evolved to, okay, well, now I got to make things to make up for buying all the supplies, and it evolves from there. So
Do you ever make anything using cotton yarn?
I do. I actually make a lot of useful things around the house too. Now that I think about it, I need to make some more, but I make a lot of dish rags and
Wow.
things like that. They're just perfect for cotton yarn and like, face scrubbies and
Yep.
all that good stuff. It's the
I
perfect things.
I like making pot holders.
Yes.
And then on the back side of the pot holders, I will take cotton uh, fabric and sew it onto the back of it
Yeah.
so that the back is protected. And I really enjoy doing that as well. Okay. Is there anyone else in your family besides yourself who crochets?
I know one of my aunts started crocheting a little bit, so that was fun. And then my brother-in-law wanted me to teach him to crochet.
Oh,
And
cool.
over the last few years, I've taught a few nieces some techniques to start to crochet. So yeah, that's
Have
about
you
it.
ever come across a left-hander and figured out how to teach a left-hander?
No.
Yeah, my oldest granddaughter, I want to teach her how to crochet, but the problem is she's left-handed.
Right.
And I'm someone told me try getting her to face me so that when she's looking at me and she sees to her, I would be holding the hook in my left hand when actually I'm holding it in my right. And I think next time she's older now, she just turned 13 in December. And I think when I go to the United States this next go around, I'm gonna try to sit down and try again because she's a little more mature now. So maybe because I would like to leave that with all of them if I can, because my aunt taught me when I was 11, and I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I know that there's a few people like I'm trying to remember the names. There's a few YouTubers, but a lot of times what people will do is even if you record yourself doing it, you just invert it and it flips it for people who are left-handed.
Yeah, I didn't thought of that.
Yeah, that's all they do. So,
Okay. Um, do you have a favorite? All of us have favorite sewing machines, favorite irons, favorite needles. And you and I, because we crochet, we also have favorite crochet hooks. So what is your go-to set of hooks?
so right now, I have been digging the Bates hooks and I add these like little rubber balls on them because they give me the added pressure. But I did like the I don't have it near me, but for some reason Dollar Tree had these plastic hooks and I had been using them for a little while because I was testing them out for my nieces to see if they would be able to use them. And for like 2 months, that's all I was using, and I got used to them. And it was really weird because they ended up being really comfortable.
Yeah.
And so now that when I go back to the other ones, they seem too squishy.
I prefer the bamboo ones the most.
Oh, really? Nice.
Well, let me let me rephrase that just a little. There's two types of hook when it comes to bamboo. You got actual bamboo hooks,
Mm-hmm.
which I really like them a lot, but you also have the like what you're talking about, the Bates hooks
Yeah,
that have bamboo handles on them. And
gotcha.
I love them because I'm especially when you're going to an extremely small hook, having a handle on it makes your dexterity a lot better, from my personal opinion, and not so much strain on the hand. I don't suffer from trouble with my hands. Mostly it's my left hand because of the way I hold yarn, but um, as I have discovered over time, I prefer that little bit of extra bulk sitting in there. I started out with you could actually buy um, these things that slide onto the Bates hooks, like you're talking about.
Yep.
And I started out using those, and those are effective enough. But when I got my first bamboo, I'm like, oh my God, I love this.
Right. Well, when they came out with, what is the name? Let me find the name real quick. When they came out with those hooks, when I was still working at Joann's, they were amazing, and they had the interchangeable hook tops, and then they had the cutters on the bottom, and they're nice and plush, and I just don't
I
remember
haven't
what they're
seen
called.
that style. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then you know they had the little cutter in the bottom so that you could take them on planes and stuff like that, so that you know they weren't like an open, you know,
Yeah.
blade or anything like that. Let me see what they were called. Now I gotta find out. Hooks, crochet hooks. I have little blank moments where I forget things. Interchangeable. But they would fly off the shelves, and once I got one for a while, that's all I used, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
So this is
The twist
your,
and lock. So they're the Bates. They're the Susan Bates, but they were twist and lock
okay, let
hooks.
me write that down because I'll go look that up.
Yeah. So.
And lock. Okay, there's a couple comments in here. One's directed to you.
Oh yay.
Robin first says, my mother is left-handed and I'm right-handed, and my mom taught me. And then Stacy of Create and Relate says, how do you juggle? This is for you, Andy.
Oh
How do
okay.
you juggle everything you do? I know you have an incredibly supportive husband, but what else keeps you organized and creative? That's a great question.
Oh, my brain is constantly running with a million ideas and things to do. And the idea that I have notebooks like everywhere where I write things down, and I constantly pick one up and I see something that I was supposed to do, and then it triggers another idea that I had, maybe that I, you know, never brought to fruition. So it's like, oh wait, and then it triggers something else.
Yeah.
But I have a couple of different mediums that I always like to do. And every time I feel like I might be getting burned out with one thing,
Mm-hmm.
I might move to making some jewelry for a little while, and then it'll refresh the ideas that I had for something, or give me like a new rush of, I need to finish making the dolls for this show, or I need to, you know, really get on this project that I have that's due in a month for the special order, or you know, it tries to keep me going.
Okay, that's great. All right, now Jody says, Jody from Jody's Genealogy, she also is from Marketplace
Yeah.
Boutique. Those two channels belong to Jody. She says, thank you for dropping a super chat for me with Tuber Chat.
Oh.
I appreciate your kindness. And I love this community because we super chat each other a lot. We join their, you know, pay for a membership. All these things helps all of us little guys grow even stronger because we all need that little extra hump to push us along. So thank
Oh
you for that,
yes.
Jody, on helping out Andy. Okay, Vicky Bush, hello. And uh Ellie Fish came in.
Yay.
Ellie Fish Tanks is here. Uh, someone else came in here. I don't know if they're still here or not. Where did you go? Just so you know they were here, because you know from Tuber Chat. Um, oh, I lost whoever it was. I'm sorry. Anyway, anyone I didn't say hi to, hello, and we're gonna keep on talking. Okay. Let me see. Do- so tell us a bit about your other hobbies that go along with your crocheting, because I know this was mainly about crocheting, but I like to ask about your other hobbies. So what all hobby, I know you mentioned cross stitching and you mentioned jewelry making, so can you expand a little bit on that?
So I like to wrap crystals. I like to make jewelry, mainly earrings. So I mean, I have, I don't know if you can see, I'm not wearing the dangly earrings right now, but I have four, well, technically five holes in my ears. So I wear a lot of earrings, fun earrings.
Mm-hmm.
And for many years, I was known for having the best earrings. And I would take the funnest beads, or I would use clay to make my own earrings, or I used perler beads, but the mini perler beads. For the longest time, you could only get them from Germany. and I would make like fun little characters or geek related ones.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I would, people would want them. I have an idea right here. I don't know if you can see it. So, like, here's a
Oh,
little
wait,
Harley
let me
Quinn.
spotlight you again. Hold on. Okay. Now they
So,
should be able to see.
yeah, so like, here's a little Harley Quinn.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know if you
cute.
can.
And your
Yeah,
green screen
so,
gives you trouble.
yeah. So, I mean, I would make my own jewelry and then I would use like beads or just fun stuff. And, like I said, clay. And that's how I got started in doing a lot of the jewelry stuff. And then for a while, that was the main thing I was doing. And then it went to, I would hand draw
Mm-hmm.
on Shrinking inks and or hand paint them.
Yeah.
And then I would do pins and stuff like that. And it's evolved over the years. But it's kind of like after doing certain things for years, you just want to try something new,
Yeah.
do things different because you just don't want to keep doing the same type of things. So I would, put things to rest for a year and try something new. And then maybe in a year or two, I might bring it back. So right now I'm bringing a lot of my jewelry back. So I mean, it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, dream catchers. I like to make them with all kinds of things, yarn, beads, um, jewels. What else do I do? Cross stitch.
So, so Stacy says, Andy actually inspired me to make my first crochet project. She's awesome. Yes, she is. That's excellent. Okay, go ahead and keep on with what you were talking about.
I'm trying to think of what else. Oh yeah, and then I sew. I have like a whole
I did not know
closet. Yeah, I have a whole closet full of fabric. I make a lot of bags and
that. Okay.
stuff. Right now, I'm working on a massive mismatch project
Mm-hmm.
that hopefully. So I have a show coming up the second week of April. So hopefully, right, maybe the day before that show, I can unveil the massive project. It's a mix between crochet, knitting style, and something else. But anyway, um, I'm hoping to, it's kind of like what I did with my bats. I don't know if you ever got to see the bats, but I crocheted a lot of bats and I added a lot of fun stuff to them.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to incorporate a lot of this things that I've done before and mismatch things together.
So, since you mentioned you sew, what kind of sewing machine do you have?
I have a genome right now. I call it my
No,
gen.
because I have a Janome too.
I know I call it my genome. It's like an ice blue.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
You'll have to show that off to me in the future.
Yeah. Well, I plan to be sewing probably next week, hopefully. So it'll
Okay.
be in the stream.
All right. Awesome. Because that'll be fun to see. Because I
Yeah.
didn't know you sewed. So see, I learned something new about you today that I didn't know. So, have you ever tried making quilts with your sewing machine?
I've made quilted bags. Like so I make mini quilted bags like horror bags with
Yeah.
like horror fabric, things like that. Um I my grandmother taught me and my sister how to hand quilt growing up. So
Awesome.
yeah, so on my grandmother, so on my dad's mom's side, their family were pretty much all quilters. And growing up, when we would go hang out with my grandparents on most of the days, me and my sister would each get sections of the quilt that we would have to hand sew all the lines and everything.
Mhm.
And so that's what we pretty much did growing up is learn how to hand quilt. So it was
I'm
fun.
learning how to do that right now. I have a collaboration between me and Cheri.
Yes.
She also has a YouTube channel and she's teaching us how to hand quilt. And I have never done hand sewing in my life, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
It's really a lot of fun. Yes. It's I mean we did it for years, so it's a lot of work. But
Yeah. Um, my biggest hang up with hand sewing is I struggle to fasten off. So we're trying to work on which type of fastening off makes more sense for my brain, because the way that most fasten off, I'm having difficulty with. So she showed me a different way, and we're going to try that and see if that doesn't fix the problem, because I don't know. I just fastening off has always been a problem for me, like sewing buttons on. It's always a hot
Yes.
mess.
Yep. Yeah.
Hot mess.
Well, and that's the other thing is I used to needle punch too, because my dad was born in Japan when my grandpa was stationed over there, and my
Mhm.
grandma had this old Japanese needle punch kit that she taught me how to use, and so I want to needle punch too as well. But we got to do that on some of the hand quilts, so that was fun.
I've never hand punched, so that sounds like fun.
You might enjoy it.
Let's see. Stacy says, "I hope you film some sewing, mixing different crafts in. So much fun." And that was for you.
Well, thank you.
I have this idea that because I like to crochet and I love using uh, like my mandala here, that's made from DMC, Red Heart, and Lily #3 cotton thread. So it's very small thread.
Oh
And
yeah.
I have I've created some little motifs that I'm thinking about. I want to take them and when I'm making a quilt, I want to take and make blocks where I do reverse applique. And that just means instead of the applique being on top, it's going to be back behind the fabric. And then I want to take those motifs and I want to sew them behind it. So when you're looking through the circle, there's a crochet there. And I think that would look really cool.
I think that would look great too. That's a great idea. And going back to something we brought up earlier, I meant to say that I did notice I switched from acrylic yarn because I had a lot of problems with my hands cramping.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went to the thicker yarn and the softer yarn,
Yep.
I had less problems with
Yeah.
hand cramping.
This particular DMC is pearlized yarn, so it's super soft. And I also bought a different type of cotton that came from, I'll think of the name of them in a while, and I'll have to show it to you, but it is super soft cotton. I mean, because I don't like the very harsh cotton either, because it dries your hand. I don't know exactly. It doesn't feel comfortable on my hands, and so I try to find the soft cotton, because I there's things that you can make with cotton that will hold out over time versus acrylic. So
Yes.
I mean, I would never stick that in a washing machine. Oh, heck no. Mm-mm.
No, 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 definitely not.
That would be yeah. When I went to mount that thing, um I had someone build me a square frame, and that, oh my gosh, it was a train wreck, because instead of it holding the round, because I was trying to mount it so that it would keep the circle, I couldn't do it that way. And then I had this bright idea. What about hula hoops? So I
Yeah.
my hula hoops here. So when I went to California, so this sat put away for 2 years, I think, and because it took an entire year to make it, and so it sat for 2 years. And when I went to California, I came back with two hula hoops. They were they were in a box where they looked like small hula hoops. When you took them out, they were actually a big a standard size one, and it came with little pipe fittings that you put in it. And so I had come back here with two. It didn't occur to me to go by the hardware store to get pipe fitting tubes, because I was going to have to cut the second hula hoop so that when I pieced it together, it would fit that size. And when I got home with it and I cut that hula hoop, and I'm like, uh-oh, I don't have no fittings to go in there. I didn't have enough, because only one fitting comes per ring. And when you have two extra, or I needed an additional one, I didn't
Right.
have it. So I had said something about, well, so much. I made a post on my Facebook, and I said something like, well, so much for thinking I was going to mount my mandala on the wall. Train wreck again. And somebody says, what's going on? And I explained about how I needed a fitting to go inside of it, and that I would probably have to wait till my next trip to buy another hula hoop just for that little piece, you know. And she says, I have an idea. She says, I'll go up to the hardware store or where they sell pipe fittings and stuff. Because she said she knows that they sell these little inserts that where you can attach the flexible piping.
Right.
She That's what she was talking about. So she bought a few of them and she bagged them up and sent them here because she needed to know the diameter of that. So I told her, and sure enough, it slid right in, and that's how it got mounted on the
Oh,
wall.
how cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just so happy because I finally got to put it on the wall, you know, because
Well, yeah, after all that time.
it's pretty big. It's 120 centimeters across.
Yes. Well, it is gorgeous.
Thank
And yes, it is definitely a beautiful piece.
All right, let's see here. So we're gonna migrate a little bit towards our YouTube channel. And then when we finish talking a little bit about the YouTube channel, we're going to do a little mini trunk show. So you
Okay.
probably want to bring your camera on so they can see better.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. If you guys have questions, make sure to ask Andy, okay? And I will tell her. I'll read the questions to her. Uh, Stacy says, "I love how we can all help each other. That's amazing. Yeah, this is amazing community that we all share with each other. Because you know sometimes what you might not have thought of, somebody else will think of, and then you're like, oh, I didn't think of that."
Right.
Okay, so when did you start your YouTube channel? What were your goals in the beginning, and has that evolved over time?
So I started it, I can't remember. I think it was like in September, October. And the goal was just to put some of my crochet videos up because I started them with TikToks. Um, and now the goal has changed. Yeah, I guess I want to start putting my own patterns and stuff up and just, growing the community,
That,
connecting with people. We're having so much fun together.
yeah, it's pretty amazing. Your plushies are adorable.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
what do you love most about having a YouTube channel, and what do you dislike the most about it?
I like being able to, you know, what I like the most is being able to, have people that come together and, everybody will be there for you. But I also dislike that there's so much going on. So you can't be, there's so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
So you can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, multitasking plus trying to put your videos up, plus trying to do live, plus making sure you go hop on everybody else's channels and give them watch hours. It's a good.
Yes.
This is how some of my days run. You know, especially if I have lives on the day. We have a desktop. I did have a laptop till it died the other day, and I'm gonna have to buy a new one. But normally they would be the desktop, that laptop, and the TV running other people's channels,
Yep.
just so I could come in and because one of the things I love best about all of this is if I can go watch your channel and give you watch hours, that's paying it forward. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
if you don't have money to donate to super chat or become a paid member, this is the best way to pay it forward. Go watch people's videos. Don't watch just one, just try to watch multiple ones if you can. Like the videos, make a comment down below. You can make a comment of what you liked about it. But if you want to comment what you didn't like about it, but be kind, just saying. But all of those things help contribute to our making our channel stronger. So that's what I like
Exactly.
about that. Yeah. Okay. You want to start showing some of your stuff?
Yeah, hold on. I was trying to get this camera in there, but give me 1 second.
Okay. And then I'll maximize it so they can see it.
Let me take off the audio.
Yeah, you'll have to turn the audio off
I don't
or
want
we'll echo. Stacy says I'm the same. I have 4 devices running playlist all day. Yep. And it does help channels out a lot, believe it or not. And you know, the one thing about being a channel creator, you can actually see what countries are watching your videos. You won't know who's watching it, but you can tell how much time or how many hours is spent watching your videos. Okay, let me spotlight this. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's cute. So go ahead and tell us about it.
Okay, so this is a little octopus, and he has beads on him that spin, but he has glow in the dark beads,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's fun. But this is off of a pattern that I bought to test, and I've done other things with beads after because of an inspiration from
No,
this tester, but this is just one of the fun ones.
okay.
And then here was that Chef Bobby Peep, our creepy peep guy.
Oh my goodness. Oh. So tell us a little bit about what all those pieces are you got on him.
Oh, so they decided that he was a chef, so we gave him a frying pan. It's a 3D printed frying pan with eggs and bacon. And then he's got an apron with a beaded candy corn. And then a little chainsaw with a 3D printed peep.
Oh wow.
And then we crocheted him a chef hat. And then we added the little blood marker because I 3D print stuff as well. So,
That's awesome.
and then this one is a spider.
Oh my goodness, that's the first time I've seen a spider one.
Oh, I love making spiders. And this spider is a pattern that I designed, oh my goodness, a while back. I adapted my jellyfish pattern to make him, but he's cute
He is super cute.
and he's fun. And this is off of a velvet yarn,
Oh, okay.
so he's super soft.
I'll bet he is.
Okay, and then this
Stacy
is,
says that's such a good sensory toy too.
oh, they sure are. And this is just a one of the plain voodoo dolls.
That's funny. Oh, and I see the pin sticking in his head.
Yes. And then if anybody was there the other night, I make little mini, like this is the mini Deadpool.
Oh, wow.
Oops, sorry, there goes my dogs. And
Oh,
then
we didn't hear him.
this is a mini Venom.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, oh, here's a big one. Okay, let me see. Ooh,
Yeah, you might have to back up a little bit.
yep, I'm gonna have to back it. So this
Oh,
is Kenny from South Park.
wow.
Yep. So I make all the South Park characters. And sorry, I put that down. And then this one is a beautiful dragon.
Super cute. Oh my goodness.
And then I was trying to see if I had any other close by. Oh, and then the other one I wanted to show is my 3D printed logo for my business.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
So I didn't design the 3D model for this one, but I had one of my friends who's a 3D designer design it for me, and I printed it out and painted it.
That's really cool. Are you planning on creating a pattern for a crochet dragon like that?
Yes. So the only other thing I have to finish on mine is the wings, but I
Okay.
pretty much have the rest down for it. But yes.
Because I'm excited to see what you come up with because that's super cute.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think I have my card around here. I need to get more made. I ran out of business cards, so I have my logo. It should be in my on my icon for my YouTube channel too, because I had one of my other YouTube friends, she created the new Crafty Witch logo
Yeah.
with his face in there too. So he's
I saw
adorable.
that dragon and I'm like, ooh, I want one of those.
Oh, and he's not finished, but this is a little scrumpy.
Do you have
Yeah.
an example of Grogu by any chance?
Oh, I do. Let me see how I'm going to put him on here. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Don't know.
And while you're doing that, Stacy says that 3D print is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, I guess real quick. And I also like I make lanyards too.
Oh,
I
stop.
sew lanyards with ribbon.
That's super cool.
Yes. I did a few of them on a live stream once. I'm trying to figure out how to get the video to the background. Maybe I could
Stacy
pull it.
says she needs to work on a logo.
Yes, you need to work on a logo, Stacy. You need a
So is
mascot.
it having a uh that type of printer?
A 3D printer?
Yeah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Is it expensive?
It can be. It depends on what you're looking to do with it. So, for example, I mass print a lot of things, so you need a lot of filament, things like that. Filament will run you for each color anywhere from $15 to $25 for just one color.
Uh-huh.
Oh, geez. So if you're looking for multiple colors, then it can get kind of pricey.
Okay.
It just really depends on what you're looking to get out of it.
Okay.
If you're looking for multicolors, you can get probably $20, $25 and do multiple prints.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay,
I just
so,
I haven't seen one 3D printer here in Greenland.
oh, really?
No, not at all. Not one.
That's insane.
Yep, I guess it's not maybe it's not a thing over here. I don't know. In Europe, I mean, because everything comes from Denmark, so maybe it's because it's not big and prevalent yet, or I don't know. It's kind of strange that I haven't seen anyone over here with one. Okay, all right. So, uh, let me show you a couple things, and then
Okay.
what
Sorry,
I'm
1 second.
gonna say. It's okay. I'm going to save the rapid fire for last, and but I thought I would show you some of. I'm sure you'll be interested. And I have an unboxing to do, and I thought I would share that. That way we can share this love of crocheting.
Yeah, I think I lost my other thing because somebody
And your
was
camera's
calling me.
down.
Wait
You have
1 second.
Did you have more to show?
Oh no, go ahead. I was looking for that Grogu, but somebody was calling me and I thought I lost the camera. So I'm sorry, no worries.
Yeah, whenever you're ready to show the Grogu, we can do that. I'm going to this camera that I turned the video off on. I'm going to turn it back on.
Okay,
And
no worries.
let me let's see here. Click OK. Then we need to turn the camera back on. Okay, and I don't want to make anyone dizzy, but I'm going to turn this camera around so that y'all can see what I'm going to unbox. I need to move my phone out of the way. Make sure I got a good view of this. Okay. So a while ago I mentioned to some people that a new book had come out, a crochet book by the same creator of Sophie's Universe. And this is the Sophie's Universe was the first crochet along I participated in YouTube, not YouTube, in a Facebook group, and it took a year. It was a year long crochet along that I don't know, close to 3,000 people participated in. And then after the whole crochet along was finished, Deidre decided to create a book, and she put the book out on the market. And I've shown the book before, but I seem to have misplaced the first book, or the Sophie's Universe book. But when I come up with it, I'll put a picture on my YouTube community group. But this is what the Sophie's Universe looked like.
Oh, gorgeous.
And so there was lots of things you got to learn in here, you know, different types of stitches and stuff. And so I bought the book, which the book, I mean, you can download all of these instructions for free, all of it. But the beauty of buying the book is you have all the instructions in a book with colored step-by-step tutorials on how to do each thing through each round. And so now what I'm going to show you is she just published a new book called Charlotte's Universe, and we're going to unbox it.
Yay!
And so when she announced the book was going out, she said that she would be signing 100 copies. So the first 100 buyers of her book got a signed copy. Can everybody see this okay? I hope so.
Yes.
That looks like a weird angle for some reason. Right, so I already cracked the box, so we're going to just take it out. And then I'm going to show you. Is that upside down? It looks like it's upside down.
It looks sideways.
Okay, maybe. Now is it right? Yeah, it looks like it's right. Can everybody see this okay?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll pull it up to the camera so you can see the front of it first. And I'm really bad at this because I get disoriented. Okay, so this was called Charlotte's Universe. This is by Deidre, and I don't know how to say her last name, so we're not even going to try. Because I don't want to butcher it. So this, I missed out on this crochet along because I was busy making quilts. She probably took a year to do this one too. And but the book is beautiful. So I am number 55 of 100 with this signed copy. So that's very cool. And you know what I love about this is my third first edition book. You know, you don't usually have the ability to buy books that are first edition because, you know, when they sell them out, you know, they're gone and they start with the next edition. You still there, Andy?
Oh, I am. Sorry.
Okay, thought I lost you. Okay, so basically she has a table of contents. The first part of it talks about important things, then it talks about stitches, techniques, and then it starts with the instructions. And this book covers, I'm not sure how many rounds. I think there is over 130 rounds to this particular crochet along. And inside the book, she has an introduction that says, Charlotte's Universe is a continuous square blanket with lots of floral and lace detail. She started her life as a square I designed for 67 blankets for Mandala Day in 2016, parts 1 through 3. With grateful thanks to John Kelly for allowing me to use a smaller version of his mandala in the bloom flower at the center. Charlotte features her favorite elements from Sophie's Universe, her Bankshire patterns, and the sheepy's Ubuntu cow. She did Ubuntu, and I'm trying to remember what Ubuntu means. It means together or something like that. And I missed out on that crochet along too. On her journey, she has gone to the Netherlands 3 times, South Africa, Devon, Dorset, Cornwall, New Zealand, and Australia. And then she just talks a little more about this. So in this book, what tickled me the most about this book is there's this comment here that she made right here on the side here. And this is what it says. It says, although this book is aimed at adventurous beginners, you will have to know 4 things before you can proceed. Number 1, how to hold your hook. Number 2, how to hold your yarn. Number 3, how to make a slip knot. Number 4, how to make a chain stitch. Then she says everything else is explained in great detail in this book.
Awesome.
So she has a chart of the different stitches, and these charts, you'll see there's these little emblems here. This tells you what type of stitch it is, because some people can read a pattern with these symbols better than they can read the directions. So she's put both of these in this book. And then I'm just gonna stroll through so you can see all the colorfulness about it. This tells you how to do a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, double treble, 3 double crochet cluster, 3 treble bobble, double crochet 2 together. That means you have 2 double crochets that you crochet into 1 stitch. A partial 2 treble bobble, partial 3 treble bobble, picot double crochet, popcorn stitch, puff stitch, roses, single crochet 2 together, split 2 treble bobble, split 3 treble bobble. See, all these things are going on here. Then she talks about the gauge of what your stitch sizes might be. So when you're crocheting, all of us crochet different, and Andy will tell you this. It's not just about the crochet hook. The size of the crochet hook, it contributes to the size of a stitch. But some people are loose crocheters, while other of us who, like me, I don't know about you, Andy, you can tell me.
Yep.
Crochet tight. And so when you crochet tighter, those stitches might be a little bit smaller. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't cause any issues with the pattern other than, you know, you'll get it'll say this should be this size. And based on the way you crochet yourself, it might be slightly different. So a lot of times they'll tell you to make yourself a small crochet piece so you can measure that piece and the stitch sizes to see if you're close enough, or if you need to tighten it up a little bit or whatever. Or my thing is the same with quilting. If you stay consistent on whatever way you crochet, it's going to come out good in the end anyway, as long as you don't miss stitches or anything. It talks about the magic ring on how to start it. I prefer a slip knot over the magic ring. Always worry that magic ring's going to come out. Let me see here. It talks about corners and the hidden stitches. It talks about using stitch markers, doing standing stitches, which standing stitches mean that the stitch stands up on top of the piece. Let me see if I don't know if you can see this good enough or not. But see how that looks like it's sitting on top of that center? That's called a standing stitch. And then it talks about post stitches, where you're going to crochet in the post, which is right here. Right there. It talks about back posts. So you can sew on the front side of a post, or you can not sew. Oh my gosh. You can crochet on the front side of a post, but you can also crochet on the back side of a post. And it gives you different things. You can crochet in the front stitch of a loop or in the back stitch. It's pretty interesting. So this book goes through here. It shows all this colorful how to do everything, how to work away yarn ends, hide your yarn ends so you don't see them. And then part 1 starts with a small square. And here's what I was talking about with the pattern. This is, a lot of people will just use this to crochet their pieces with. They don't even read the directions because they can read this. This is like a pattern. And as long as you know what all these stitches mean, you can do this without ever reading instructions. A lot of crocheters, advanced crocheters, will just do this. They won't even read the typed out instructions. I can read most of it, but I still need to read the text because I get more from it that way. But seeing the picture helps me because I'm a visual learner also.
Right.
So anyway, as you can see, it's very colorful. It's walking you step by step. She gets really detailed here so that you can see what it is. Uh-oh. Let me move it up. There we go. Detailed here, along with the colorful pictures. But she's also showing you based on this what it should look like, the stitch.
Right.
And yeah, and this whole book, it just goes through all of this, and you're basically progressing over time as you come along with this. Let me see here. I know with this looks like a lace stitch right here on the outside of this. Then she created something called forget-me-nots. They're like little flowers.
Oh yeah, like a border.
Yep.
Very cute.
Let me see here. If y'all have any questions, please ask. And I hope, okay, and then there's the start of triangles.
Aww.
So watch you step by step on that. You can see there's lots of different designs goes in here.
It's very detailed.
Yeah, she really went all out on this. So this is like this is part of what's already been done. You're about halfway through. Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry guys, I'm not very good with this part. Still learning the camera stuff that way. Let me put this thing back in here. Then you have petal border, and you see those roses.
Yep.
And the whole book is like this, full of graphics, full of instructions. I mean, and back here at the back of the book, we're going to talk a little bit about the back of the book. And after each chapter, I don't know if you noticed this or not, there's a section here where you can put your notes. You can actually write in there, something you want to remember next time around. And you just go through here and do whatever you know. Now, at the end, there is this color page. It's in black and white. And you can see the design of what that's supposed to be without color.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. It's just the black and white of the whole pattern.
Very cool.
That camera is kind of like, oh, what is that? And then back here also, it tells you what parts, each chapter, what it covers, how many rounds it's covering. This is how I know there's 130 rounds in here. It's a beautiful book, and I'm really happy about having it. So, yeah.
Very awesome.
Hey, Joy T. Did I stopping by to say hi for a few minutes? Let me see. I never heard of a peep until I was watching Andy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. The only other thing I thought I would show you is I was hoping Andy had her first piece, but she doesn't. But I want to show you my first actual crochet piece. Let me get this camera off real quick. Hold on a minute. I need to turn the video off. Okay, that's done. All right. And then we're going to start rapid fire. As some of y'all know, not all of y'all, I started crocheting when I was 11, but I spent a lot of time making little blocks, and I don't know what the deal was, but when I was a teenager, all I thought about was crocheting flowers. That's all I could think about. But then when I got married and I was pregnant with my first daughter, I decided I wanted to crochet something for her. And this is
Aw,
the first ever crocheted Afghan.
aw, gorgeous.
And it's made out of acrylic. At the time, I didn't think anything about it being made out of acrylic and what it could do if a fire happened. So now I'm a real stickler. I'm making quilts that I'm going to give to all my grands. Everything in their quilts is cotton, including the batting. No acrylic or polyester anywhere to be found in it, because most people don't know this, but if a fire happens and your child is wrapped up in it and it catches on fire, it's like glue. It will melt to their skin. And you don't think about that when you're a young mom, that could happen. But anyway, I love this pattern, and I actually still have the paper printed out pattern of it. And I
Aw.
learned a lot. I learned how to do that chevron stitch, which is difficult for beginners,
Oh
because
yeah.
you because if you don't know what you're doing, you can easily end up being wider at the top and narrower at the bottom, because you don't know how to turn the stitch properly. So this was a good way of learning this, and I kept it pretty simple. It doesn't follow all of the pattern, because I did this part here, the centers here between each piece. I did it a little bit different from the instructions, because the instructions didn't make sense at the time to my brain, but I figured out how to do it where it still looked the same. So anyway, this is my first piece. And
No.
this is, let's see, my oldest daughter is now 38 years old. So this is 39 years old,
Wow.
and it's in pristine condition.
Yes, it is. It looks great. I love it.
So I need to give it to her. I'm so,
You're so attached.
well, I'm attached, but not only that, I'm worried that, she needs to understand that this is polyester or acrylic, and you should not use fabric softener on this. You
Right.
should not wash this in hot water. You should not dry this in the hot dryer, because these fibers of polyester, they will clump up like this. The reason you don't use fabric softener is because fabric softener sticks to the fiber of yarn, or any fiber,
Yes.
any, especially things like crocheted pieces that's polyester or acrylic, or wool jet. You have a wool where it's wool on the inside of your hoodie. um that's another one that's very easy to happen. Also, those extremely soft acrylic blankets that we all love. They're so soft, you just want to lay on them all the time. If you fabric softener that, you'll notice over time that what used to be nice and soft is still soft, but not like it was when you first bought it. And it's because the fabric softener sticks to the fiber, and then you run it through the dryer and it's stuck there forever. You can never get it out once you put heat to it. Now, if
Yes.
you don't put heat to it and you discover your fibers are tight because of something, it's probably your fabric softener, and you could probably use white vinegar in a regular wash on cold water and let the vinegar pull out all of that, because vinegar is really good about pulling out soap and also pulling out fabric softener off of fiber. But once it's stuck, once you put heat to it, you can't get it out. It will never come out. So that's a tip there. And I'm sure Andy's going to say don't wash your plushies either.
Right. Unless, I mean, it depends on, which ones you use, but yeah, be careful.
uh Stacy says, is that what causes bobbling? Yeah. When we're with us as crocheters, and well, any fiber, fabrics fiber, yarns fiber, I mean, the things you cross stitch with, that's fiber. Anything that has fiber, the clothes we wear is fiber. And some clothes may never show any signs of issues where you have clumping, or it seems like it's not soft anymore. Even it's not soft like it was when you first got it versus how it is now. And it's because you didn't read the instructions in the back of the shirt. And the shirt may say, wash in cold water, do not use bleach, don't do this, don't do that, do not put in a hot dryer. And if you don't read this, you just throw it in there, wash it in hot water, and then stick it in a hot dryer, and then you wonder, why did this happen to my stuff? And we're not taught that. When I don't know about you, Andy, but my mother, the only thing my mother ever told me was, you don't wash darks with lights. You don't wash darks that you wear in hot water ever, because they will bleed. Um, if you anything with bright, bold red colors or oranges or yellows, you wash all of those in cold water. And if you're going to bleach something, you make sure that those things that you're bleaching are not non-bleachable fabric. So, because she would bleach white towels, or she would bleach the sheets sometimes because they were white. But if it was something colored, you don't mix this together because you'll ruin whatever, you know. So there's lots of little things she taught me about, but she never, you know, I don't think people realize about the fabric softener, but I got to doing some research about fabric softener, and it talks about how it sticks to the fiber. And that's a problem when you're crocheting with yarn and you're wearing it. If you make a sweater or a Afghan, you know, anything that you're wrapping yourself in and it feels stiff, that's because the fabric softener stuck to it. So that's why.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good to know. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good things.
Let's ask you some fun questions.
Oh, maybe.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
My favorite guilty pleasure is probably horror movies.
It was what?
Like horror movies.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. What is your favorite crochet tool?
My favorite crochet tool is probably my 5mm hook.
What crocheting item do you wish you had invented?
My stabbers.
Okay. So what are the stabbers? Oh,
It's
the needle.
Yeah, it's essentially just a plushy knitting needle that you just use to put pieces together. I just call them stabbers.
Okay. What was the worst crocheting disaster, and were you able to resolve it?
Ugh. I got some of that more expensive $15 yarn, and I was making it was a dragon. I was making a dragon, but the yarn kept on breaking.
Uh-oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and I ended up wasting half of the roll, and I think I ended up having to substitute all of the embellishments. So it ended up I ended up wasting half the roll, so I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do with it, but I still ended up finishing it, the dragon, but not the way I wanted to.
Okay. All right. So what would you like to do in the world of crocheting that you haven't already done?
It's a secret.
Secret? Aw.
Yeah. Well, it'll be revealed soon.
Okay. Okay, so all right. So if you could watch anyone crochet, who would it be?
Ooh, if I could watch anyone crochet, it would probably be, oh my goodness.
There's so many out there.
There's one person that I like to watch crochet, and it's Juan the Yarn Addict.
Okay.
On YouTube. He is a beautiful crocheter. Just
Okay. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Juan, like Juan, right?
Yes.
Got it. If you weren't a crocheter, what else would you do?
If I wasn't a crocheter, then I would probably be a sewer. Just mainly sewing stuff. Yes.
Tell us something about yourself that might surprise all of us.
Well, people think I'm nice and sweet, but I'm kind of a weirdo.
When you said that, I found this meme that someone posted, and he was talking about uh, I think the one woman said, uh, some people just think I'm angry, and the other woman says, most people don't realize I'm a weirdo. And that made me laugh. I thought that was really funny. I'm like, oh, I fit in that category.
Yes, yes.
I'm strange for the most part sometimes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite yarn color and why?
Oh, I love well, right now it's this blue raspberry, but anything pretty much teal or like aqua blue, and it's just bright, makes me happy. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Stacy says, you can laugh at my mistakes, laugh out loud. And then she says, we know you're not nice and sweet, laugh out loud. Okay, so the next question is, what 5 skills should a beginner crocheter learn about to help them become better stitchers as they learn? No, let me rephrase that a little. I'm going to be naughty. What skills should a beginner crocheter learn to help them become better hookers as they learn?
Repetitiveness.
The first time I heard crocheters calling themselves hookers, I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know. Well, I say I'm a tie hooker too, because that's what we call ourselves, right?
Yep.
And it's funny.
It is funny.
The other thing you have to be okay. I forgot the question.
I'll re-ask it. What 5 skills should a beginner crocheter learn about to help them become good hookers as they learn?
Okay, to become a good hooker, you have to learn
That's
how
going to
to.
distract you, isn't it? Oh.
Definitely okay. You have to. I tell everybody the best way to learn is first you have to master your slip stitches. You have to master your single crochet. Once you master your chains, your single crochets, then you're pretty much
Yeah.
gold. I mean, because until you want to learn the fancy stitches and stuff like that, you can pretty much do anything. You could do dolls, you can do blankets, you can do scarves. So those are your 3. The next thing you're going to want to learn is how to just finish off. And then for the 4th one is tension.
Yeah.
Or the 5th one, I mean, sorry. The 5th one is tension. So once you get your tension down, then you're set.
Yep. Yep. Okay, now suggest, this is going to be fun for you, I bet. Suggest 5 tools that every beginner crochet maker should start out with and why.
Oh, so you need um, a stabber. It's helpful in a lot of ways. Depending on what you're using it for, it's good for weaving in ends. It's good for if you're stuffing things, to stuff in things. I like small scissors. You can either use the embroidery scissors or you can use the little Fisker snippers. Those ones are good too. Try not to use big scissors. They're not,
Yeah.
you don't need it. It's just not, you don't need them. Some kind of little lobster clasps, or if you're going to use stitch markers, whatever you feel comfortable with. I personally don't like them, but everybody else does. So I have an affinity against them. I just don't like them. But anyway, everybody else does. You said 5 things.
Yep.
What else? I like pins, like sewing pins, sharp pins, what have you. If you're going to use it for, if you're not going to use safety eyes, you can use them for buttons, placements, felt. You can put your felt on there. It's just to put things in order. If you're making small items like dolls and stuff like that, you don't have to use big things. You can just, pin arms on or ears, get your positions right. And then
There's comments too when you get done.
is there funny?
Yeah,
least
they're
like
funny.
this.
They're gonna make you laugh. So hurry up and finish. I'll
Ah,
let you answer before I get
the fifth
because
thing. Oh,
back
the
to
fifth thing. Lotion, non-scented lotion.
yeah.
Make sure you have lotion because you're going to want to keep your hands very, very soft because you don't need yarn getting stuck in your fingers.
And it
Okay.
hurts to get stuck on rough skin.
Yes.
So, Steve, Joe says hookers with a big smile emoji. And then Stacy says, yes, I'm a loose hooker. And then she says, be a repetitive hooker. Got it? Laugh out loud. And then Joe says, ooh, loose hookers. I knew that would get you started. And then Mary G says, I use a wood chopstick to stuff my items. That's a great idea.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let me see here. What advice would you give concerning how to take care of finished crochet projects?
For like somebody who's purchasing them or like if you're selling
If you're
them.
going to keep them or if you're going to give them, you need to tell whoever you're giving it to how to take care of it.
I got you. So keep them away from animals because the animals will ruin them. So, I mean, there's one thing if you're making them for an animal, then you don't really
Uh-oh.
need to worry about it. But so you don't want to keep them in a low area where an animal can get a hold of it.
Yep.
Also, I just saw Stacy's comment. Sorry.
No, I saw it too. See, I knew that was going to distract you.
Um, the other thing I would say is a lot of people like to put them on shelves and stuff like that. Just make sure that they still get love because it's meant to be loved. Yep. It's meant to be cuddled. It's meant to be hugged. It's made with love.
Yep.
Yes.
What advice would you give to a beginner crocheter?
Practice makes perfect. It takes a while to get the feel of it. So like the pieces I made at the beginning are definitely have a different look to the pieces that I make now. So the more you do it, the better you'll come into your own style. Yep. So just keep doing it.
And so what other advice would you give to just anyone who crochets?
You're going to have your own style. So even though, people will say, do it this way, you're going to take on your own way of doing it that feels comfortable for you. So just because somebody says, hold it this way, once you get into it, you might have a different way that you go about it, and it's not going to be wrong as long as you get the result that you're looking for.
That's awesome. Yep. So this is all the questions I had. So is there anything else you would like to share with the group about your channel? I do want you to repeat the information about your channel though for sure. But if there's more that you would like to embellish on, you can go ahead and do that.
Well, the whole point of my channel is, I've been crafting pretty much all my life, It's one thing that definitely is something that you can do with other people, that you can do with family members, that you can do with obviously a community. It's like YouTube, you can do it with people all around the world, and it's something that I think is good, that can bring people together. And that's one thing that I like about it, is because you can share with people that you've never met and, find a group of people who, like to do these things together. And I think that it's good, very good therapy for me. And, one of the main reasons I get into it is stress relief for me, because, I've had a lot of medical problems throughout my life, and it really helps me get that stress off. And just making things makes me happy, makes other people happy, makes people laugh. And then we get to joke and, have fun and, step away from the seriousness and, just have a good time.
Janice from Under the Needle Quilting and Craft says, the hooker comments had me on the floor.
See, exactly.
Oh, we can laugh about things and that's what's cool about all of us. We can come up with something you're like, you wouldn't think of saying. Because the first time I heard someone calling crocheters hookers, I'm like, wait, what? And then I realized that because one of the things I'll tell people is I have a hard time with humor and jokes because a lot of times it just goes right over my head because of my, yeah. And so when I finally got it, I sat there and laughed for about an hour because of, oh, now I get it. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So let me see here. Someone else made a comment for you. Let me see. Andy, it's great to see you from Vintage Style by Joe.
Hi, Joe.
So I'm going to share the link again, and then I'm going to tell you about tomorrow because some of you are part of the Tuber Chat family as well that's sitting in here watching. And tomorrow night, well, it's night my time, but afternoon y'all's, at 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, Kristen from Bella's Whisper Farmstead's coming to join me to celebrate my birthday because tomorrow is my birthday.
Yay!
So
Happy birthday.
I'll share the link, get it out there because I don't know how many of the Tuber Chat family I can get because y'all come and support Kristen because Kristen has something really cool she's going to share with us. She inherited, I'm not sure if it was her mother or her grandmother's, but it's one of them, sewing machine, an old vintage sewing machine. So she's going to share that with us. She said it came with a fabric stash. She's going to share all of that. And in between that, we're just going to celebrate my birthday. I want y'all to come and be with me because my husband's at sea. I'm here by myself. And it would be fun if someone come and just sat and help me celebrate my birthday. I would appreciate
it. Of course.
Welcome, Kristen, because Kristen is a bit shy a little bit. And I love the things that she shares about her farmstead. She's a gardener. She has the coolest looking chickens I've ever seen. So don't be surprised if you don't see one of her chickens on the live tomorrow night. Yes, so there'll be that. There'll be the thing about the sewing machine. There'll be the thing about the fabric. We'll have all kinds of things to talk about. So this is open to everyone because I'm sure she's going to touch upon something that everyone's interested in. It's not going to be just sewing. It's going to be like what you saw tonight. We're doing crochet stuff and we're talking about that. And I discovered tonight that I didn't know that Andy sewed. That was something new. So now I'm going to have her on to sew with me one night. So stay tuned for that. But also, I think that Andy's up for this as well because we've already talked about it a little bit. I think we're going to do a crochet collaboration together one night where we're just crocheting. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it because I have limited apparatuses, so to speak, on how you're going to see me crocheting. So I haven't figured that out. Someone said I might have to just crochet up here like I do with my sewing until I can figure it out, until I can order one of the neck things like what Andy uses. And she's not the only one that uses the little apparatus where you put your phone on it. A couple other people I've been talking to, they also do the same thing when they're cross stitching. They use that style of when they're showing them, so cross stitching. So I'll get it figured out, and we'll let you know in advance when we start a collaboration. We got to figure out when it's good for both of us.
Yes,
because both of us are always doing lives. I don't know. Maybe right. It may turn out I just pull her on one of my lives, and I go join her on one of hers. I don't know. So we'll get it figured out, and we'll stay tuned for that. Get ready for that. You never know what we're going to do. We might even do what I call an impromptu live, and just suddenly there we are.
Yeah.
So we don't have the things ironed out. We've just kind of sort of talked about it, but now I think we should do this because there's more crocheters in here than I thought there was. I'm sorry that I can't do knitting ones because I don't know how to knit. Sorry. I don't know how to cross stitch either. So you're looking at someone who's never cross stitched. Now, yeah, not ever. So there's that too. And did you finish that yet?
Not yet. I have two colors.
Let me spotlight you because I hadn't seen that for a little while and I wasn't sure if you had finished it. Oh, wait a minute. Where is the spotlight for you?
I think I have to go back in. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Yeah, my friend called me, so it was weird.
Oh, I guess I can. Okay, let's do this. Nope, you're not spotlighted, so I don't know if they're going to see you or not.
All right, give
All
me
right,
one.
try to get it as close to the camera as you can.
See if it'll let me.
It's being weird. It's not. I don't see the spotlight for you anymore.
All right, let's see if it's there.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, now you can back up a little bit on the camera. There we go. See her dry. Wow, you have done a lot since the last time. You got the whole dragon done, looks like. Just about.
Just about.
Oh my goodness. That's cool.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, now she showed us. Hey, you need to take a picture of that and post it over on your community tab. Because people can see it from your community tab if you share it over there.
So I've been taking a picture of every color and I'm going to do a huge video on it.
Oh, good. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone else want to ask Andi any picture?
It's okay. It's been one of those kind of days, right?
Yeah. Does anyone want to ask Andi any questions? Mary says, happy early birthday, but I will try, but it'll be late to watch live. Yeah, you can join whenever. I don't even know. We might go longer than 2.5 hours. Who knows with me? You never know. I might just go.
Oh, it's Lana.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes, y'all. And Lana says, hi. Hello to both of us. Anyone have any questions before we stop the live? Let me share Andi's YouTube channel one more time as well. Go over and subscribe to her channel. And if you have time, do some playlist watching so you can give her some hours because we all need them. And I appreciate y'all coming to the live tonight. And one more time, Andi, when do you go live?
I'll be live again tonight. I got the bigger knitting loom, so I'm going to try to put it together and see what we can make with the big one.
That'll be fun. So
Yeah,
tonight, what time Eastern Standard Time?
So it'll probably be I'm going to try for 9 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. All right. So 9 Eastern Standard Time, Andi goes live. So go over and share some support with her. I'll definitely make sure I'm watching.
Thank you.
So there's all that. So anyway, it doesn't look like anyone has questions to ask because no one. Oh, let me talk about the poll real quick. I posted a poll, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. Andi did amazing. Well done. Lovely, says Stacy. Okay, here is the poll. The question was, how many years have you either crocheted or knitted? And their option 1 was 0 to 5 years. Option 2 was 6 to 10 years. Option 3 was 11 to 20 years. And option 4 was 21 plus years. 41% voted on for option 1, which was 0 to 5 years. 3% for 6 to 10 years. 12% for 11 to 20 years. And 44% have been doing this 21 years or longer. So there you got it. That's awesome. And that was out of 32 votes tonight. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you for voting. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. So again, tomorrow night, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Kristen from Bella's Whisper Farmstead is going to be with me, and we're going to have a live where it's both talking about her and celebrating my birthday at the same time. So please come and join us and welcome her, and all of us just have a good time tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, your time. Anyway, yes. Thank you for today. Remember to live. Don't hang up. Everybody remember to live. Oh my goodness. Andrea says 60 for her. Mary G says 50. Wow.
Awesome.
52 years and 60 years. Hey, they got us young whippersnappers whipped. Mine's 51. Mine's 51. Yeah, 51 years. So, yep, it's been a while. That's impressive, says Janice.
Yes.
Yeah, I was 11. So I was 11 when my aunt exposed me to both gardening and crocheting. And I still act, and I didn't think to bring the hook. I should have. I still have the hook she gave
Oh,
that hook. I don't know how long she'd had it, but
that's
I've had it
awesome.
51 years. That, that's unheard of. You don't usually people lose original hooks, or they don't like them anymore and give them away or whatever. I never gave mine away. Andrea says I am an old lady. Laugh out loud. No, you're
No.
not. There's
I
no old.
have I have my great great grandmother's Gengar scissors that are tied with a piece of wire, the
Oh,
mini
I wonder if
ones.
we could contact the company to see about getting the screw put back in it.
I was wondering, yeah, my grandmother gave them to me many, many years ago. They're
I
in the
bet
little
you
box.
could. I would write to them, Andy, and see what they can do. Because it's
Yeah.
not every day someone has that old of a pair of scissors.
Yes.
That's pretty rare. Will Crochet Tuesdays be a new series?
Ooh,
Oh, we might could do that.
that's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Um, Let me get back to you on that, Janice, and let's come up with something. We might could do it like once a month if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's a great
That way
idea.
it's not too stressful for either one of us. I think every week might be hard with all our schedules, but once a month would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about that after we end the live. I will get back to you, Janice, and we will make an announcement on that. And yeah, because yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you for making that comment, Janice. Okay, so I was trying to get off here. Anyway, live, laugh, love, dream. What do you do with all that? You create something beautiful. Thank you for coming to the live tonight. Thank you, Andy, for joining me tonight.
Of course.
It's a long time coming, and we finally got everything worked out, and I really appreciate you for that. And Janice said she would love to crochet with us. Now she can come on the live with us too, because
The
I
more the
she does
merrier.
she and Shonda. Oh, Shonda, sorry, dang it. See,
It's
not
okay.
Shonda. Oh my
It's
gosh, you can beat
Sean.
me up later, Shonda. I don't know why I get their channels backwards. I don't know what the deal is with me. I need to put a sticker. Shonda is under the needle, and Janice is the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Anyway, yeah, she crochets and she has a stash like nobody's business. So you okay. Anyway, thank you for coming tonight. Janice, I'll send you an email too. Okay. All right. Everybody have a great night. Go join other people's lives. Join her live tonight. Andy's live, I mean, and have a great night. And thank you for coming. And I'll see you on the next live, which is tomorrow.
Bye. Yes, for your birthday.
Yeah, thank you. All right. I don't know how come I get her channel backward with